This is FNAF running in the 80s, a FNAF fan game where you work the night shift at Fredbear's family diner, fighting off Fredbear, Spring Bonnie, and so many more animatronics. Being released in August of 2020, it was praised for its amazing graphics, great presentation, and fresh take on the FNAF formula, gathering thousands of downloads in just a few weeks. It's a pretty typical fan game, right? Well, what if I told you the game had a virus? On the 5th of September 2020, former FNAF Plus developer Fiznom posted this. A recently released fan game called FNAF Running in the 80s has been reported to contain a dangerous Trojan virus named Uwasan. Keep in mind the developer didn't infect the game with this knowingly. Seems that whoever coded it used some extension/shader in ClickTeam that had this virus hidden inside its files. If this was true, then this FNAF fan game had infected thousands of players in just a matter of weeks, including massive YouTubers like Fusion, Dulco, and Game Theory. Dulco even responded to Fiznom's tweets, confirming that he had been infected by the virus. But wait, ClickTeam is used to develop nearly every other fan game and also the mainline FNAF games. Could this mean that Scott's original games were at risk? Safe to say, the community went into full damage control. Due to the overwhelming backlash, the two developers, There's No Stake and Hack Game, decided to take Running in the 80s down for investigation. But they never found anything, because there never was a virus. So what's happened? How had the entire community been fooled into thinking that this innocent FNAF fan game had been malicious? Well, Running in the 80s was developed using the brand new ClickTeam Fusion 2.5 Plus, and for whatever reason, the games made using the Plus version of ClickTeam falsely alerted antiviruses for a file named Uwasan. This file is pretty much completely harmless. Other fan games and the main series didn't have this issue because they weren't developed using this Plus version of ClickTeam, and even though the game was innocent, the damage was already done. The community had gone into a meltdown over a virus that never even existed. Running in the 80s had an irreparable reputation, so Hack Game and There's No Stake decided to never re-release the game again. Until 2 years later, where one of the developers, There's No Stake, decided to entirely revamp the game. This is the Cog Forever Spinning, the definitive Running in the 80s experience. It follows the exact same premise as Running in the 80s, with you working at Fredbear's family diner as a night guard. So if you're wondering why I didn't talk about the actual Running in the 80s game, then this is why. Starting development in early 2022, the game gathered a massive following on Game Jolt, with it getting over 3,000 followers due to its relatively active updates. We got a ton of sneak peeks of the cameras, office, animatronics, and There's No Stake said that the game was already 50% done. It looked incredibly promising, but yeah, we've heard that story before, because after a year and a half, the game was cancelled. Taking responsibility, Running in the 80s is both out and over. There's No Stake made a post saying that the game was more of a curse than a fun project to work on. Making this game has always felt like an obligation, a need to make a replacement because the original version was just such a mess, and I wanted to do better. But despite this, she released a beta build of the game. And for a beta, the game is amazing, with all 5 nights, a 6th max mode, and an incredible 24-song soundtrack. So let's start with night 1. The game opens up with a call from Earl, the game's phone guy. He explains that they've been having issues with the animatronics. Basically, they're moving, and I don't know why. That sounds familiar. But Earl also explains the mechanics here. For example, the doors. They need to be closed at the exact right time, because they only close for a few seconds. If you close them while an animatronic isn't there, your door battery tanks. But why would you need to close the door? Oh my god. This is Fredbear, the only animatronic active on night 1. He'll appear on the 2 cameras right next to your office, and if he disappears, you better close those doors fast. In later nights, he'll even switch door, so you have to check which camera he's on. Although, the first night is never usually that bad in any of the games, so this gives you a chance to explore the cameras. These look amazing. Their lighting, atmosphere, and environment look perfect. Not to mention the animatronics themselves. They're incredibly detailed and also terrifying. If you manage to make it through night 1, then you'll move on to night 2. The phone guy isn't here in this night, which you might be able to tell by the massive phone not being there, so he sadly can't explain Spring Bonnie's mechanics, or in this game known as Jackrabbits. If he moves off stage, then you have to track him down on the camera. Once you find him, you have to play an audio lure to bring him back to the show stage. This doesn't sound like too bad of a mechanic, but in later nights, this gets so chaotic. Night 2 is also where Jeff the Cupcake becomes active. At set times in the night, he'll appear in your office and just start jugging your power. The readme file that comes with the game instructs you to, and I'm not kidding here, to punch him in the face. Moving on to night 3, this is where the puppet becomes active. If the music in the gift corner camera stops, you need to switch to song fast, otherwise the puppet will start coming out of the box. On this night, the puppet starts at 100%, but each following night after, the puppet starts at a later and later stage, meaning you have way less breathing room to make mistakes, because if the puppet hits 0, this happens. This is also where the paper plates in the gift shop become active. Once they disappear from the gift shop camera, they're moved to your door where 2 glowing eyes will appear, pretty much exactly like Five Nights at Candy's. If they get in your office 3 times, then it's over. From each night here on out, the animatronics become more and more aggressive until night 6. The all-max mode. This night has 0 room for mistakes. The puppet starts at its last stage, 1%. So if you forget to change the music even for a few seconds, it's over. Not to mention how Fredbear and Spring Bonnie are unfairly aggressive. Each movement has to be perfectly precise because otherwise you're dead. And for someone like me, someone who struggled to even beat FNAF 2, it's near impossible. So, I completed it. Attempts 1 through 5 started slow, but I managed to gain a strategy of checking the puppet, stage, and both doors. At attempt 10, I managed to get to 3:20 AM, but died to the puppet. But then, the next attempt, I died to the puppet at 3:20 AM again. This is when I realized that the puppet is entirely scripted. You only need to change his song every 50 seconds, with a 3-second window to change it. At attempt 20, I managed to get to 4:33 AM and died to a lack of power. But then, I realized something. Not only is the puppet scripted, every single thing in this game is fully scripted. Every event, movement, jump scare, everything. So after a fail at 5 AM, 3 hours and 54 attempts, this happened. I'm really hoping Bonnie's. Oh my god! 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 I fucking did it! I fucking did it! I fucking did it! I'm gonna pass out.